boy. Another week, another bad episode of The Flash. Surprise, surprise. This is episode 5 of season 9. It's entitled The Mask of the Red Death Part 2. Now, thankfully, I was wrong. I can fully admit and say right now that I was wrong. I said last week or the week before that I couldn't believe the villain, Red Death, was the final villain of the final season of The Flash. I thought that this would carry out for the remaining, 8 episodes or whatever it is, 7 episodes. Thankfully, it's not. It's over. It's over now. Thank God. Because this was brutal. This felt like a big, fat, huge waste of time. And I could not believe that Eric Wallace, I'm going to mention him by name this time, because I've always ever said the showrunner of this show, the showrunner, the writers, the producers, they suck. No, by name, motherfucker, Eric Wallace, who is the showrunner. He has been the showrunner since, I think, season 6. He's the reason why The Flash has sucked so goddamn bad, so hard. And he's the reason why we are wasting our time, we are twiddling our thumbs, and we're in this horrible state of flux where nobody gives a fuck. You can't tell me that there's somebody watching The Flash currently who is having a good time with this final season, who feels satisfied in these first 5 episodes of the final season. There was an interview where, because, for example, Legends of Tomorrow, a show that I thought was very fun and funny and just an easy watch, very enjoyable, didn't take itself too serious with the horrible writing. At least it knew that the writing was only at a certain level, so let's just have fun with it. Fuck it. Let's just do whatever the hell wacky, goofy stuff that we can, because they knew it was goofy. That show got canceled before it ever was able to even do a final season, which sucks in my opinion. Now, instead of maybe bringing back the cast, or some of the characters, at the very least, Sarah Lance, Katie Lotz, where are you? Instead of bringing them back and wrapping up their storylines, or wrapping up at least those characters, I mean, hell, they brought back Batwoman. They wrapped up her story, kind of. I mean, who was really itching, no offense to the actress, who was itching for a wrap-up on the Ryan Wilder character? Who gave a fuck? But no, they had to make sure that they spent 5 episodes doing that with her. Okay, sure, fine, whatever. The very beginning of this episode starts with the evil Batwoman, or the fake Batwoman, Red Death, and her lame-ass fucking Sinister 6, or Sinister 5, however many villains were with her. A lot of them weren't even speaking in this episode. They don't speak. They show up and they take over the police station. How many times have we seen the police station get taken over by a villain on The Flash? Specifically The Flash. I mean, sure, the Arrowverse maybe in general, but The Flash, it feels like once per season, if not multiple times per season, does a villain just walk right into the police station, not a care in the world, and just take everyone hostage, or get rid of all of the police officers, and the one captain there is left, which she has had nothing to do. She actually showed up originally on this show and felt like a refreshing character, an interesting character, somebody who was trying to solve the city's crime and trying to be more proactive. What the fuck has she done lately? She's just a body. She's just a person breathing, taking up space, and that's it. Again, whenever I say all of this bad, mean things, I'm not talking about the actors. I'm not talking about the people behind the characters, because they're trying. They're doing the best that they can. It's really Eric Wallace that this is for. This is really the bad writing that we've been getting for multiple seasons now, and we deserve better, goddammit. So again, even though this has happened multiple seasons, even though villains have showed up and taken over, you would think the police station would be better equipped to deal with something like this. At least if they're going to go down, if they are going to be taken over, if they are going to be taken hostage again, at least go down fighting. At least look credible. Have your police officers look like they could handle themselves or die trying before you just make them look so fucking weak. Again, you've been through this. Prepare next time. Something, anything. Create weapons that can help you go up against a villain. Hell, the captain, she initially didn't trust Flash. It would make sense, maybe it would sound messed up, but it would make sense that she would have a gun or some sort of weapon that could go against the Flash should he ever go evil, should something ever happen. Last season they talked about maybe they thought Flash was going bad, so just why not have a just-in-case weapon? Why not have something in your lock and safe to counteract an evil speedster, especially a speedster, given how many times Central City has had speedsters. All right, let me just move on because clearly logic is not something that goes into writing any of these fucking scripts. The criminals are arguing with Team Flash because they're like, hey, Mark, not only is he as good as dead, but he turned on us. So why are we upset about saving him or his death? And everyone's arguing, oh, we should have saved him. Oh, no, we did the right thing. And then Keon, and I'm mentioning her by name once again, Keon. Usually I say fake Caitlin, but I'm saying Keon because at the beginning of the episode, when they show the recap of everything that's gone on, they show a quick clip of Danielle Panabaker in a serious voice come in and say, my name is Keon. You're like, oh my god, this is so bad. It's almost like a reminder of how bad this bullshit is. So Keon shows up and she says, hey, I'm here and we should save Mark. So I'm going to go save Mark. And because she just says, I'm going to save Mark, I don't know why she really gives a shit about Mark. She's not Frost, who was in a relationship with him. She's not even Caitlin, who at least knew him to a certain extent. Keon is just a blank slate of a person that has no connection to Mark at all. But she says, I'm going to go save him. So because she says that, everyone else of the ex-criminals says, all right, well, I guess we're going to save him too. You convinced us, Keon. What the fuck? What the fuck? They just were arguing for, in the timeline of the show, probably hours. Arguing about, oh, who cares, who cares, who cares. And because Keon says that, they all change their mind. All of them. Even Goldface, or whatever the hell his name is, even that guy should have been like, fuck this, you guys are dumb and crazy. At least he seems halfway smart compared to the other ex-cons of the show. So we need to establish that Cecile is important. Let's everyone take a moment and say right now that Cecile is vital and important to this team. I don't know why. I don't know why they're treating her like she's this fucking messiah to the group. No offense to the actress. I say this every week. I like the actress. She's good at what she has to work with. But I don't understand why this character is such a big deal. Why she even had to have powers. Why the team can't function without her. Can't get anything done without her. They have been doing a decent job without having a telepath on the team for how many seasons? 5, 6, 7 seasons? Now all of a sudden they can't do anything without her. Where's Cisco? Are we really not going to bring Cisco back even for one episode in the final season? Really? Really? That's how we're going to end this shit? Alright, so anyways, Cecile is able to find the location of Red Death. And not only that, she's able to find out, she sees an image of Mark is still alive. Oh great, Mark! Mark is still alive. Remember Mark? I didn't even know that Mark was his name until like 2 episodes ago. But now Mark's alive, and now we actually give a shit. And we're going to go save them. And they treat it like this big surprise of, oh, Mark's alive. Oh my god, we have to save him. Again, who gives a fuck? So they go off to try to save him. And what do you know? It's a trap. Red Death, of course, planned this. Of course. I mean, guys, Barry, what the fuck? How are you not smart enough to realize that they kept Mark alive to bait you in? We've spent 9 seasons with these motherfuckers, and they still fall for the dumbest traps ever. And so Barry gets the last of his speed because he's still trying to get the speed that Red Death took away from him back. And she takes it all away, all of it away. And as she's talking to him, you see that she's able to create like this army of Red Deaths. Like I don't know if they said it was holograms or she telepathically did it. And she went through this whole explanation of how she went to Gorilla Grodd and convinced him that Barry basically fucked him over. Oh, because you left him to look for his people, his gorillas, his fellow gorillas, and he hasn't been able to find them. He's now pissed. So I told him I would help him. And in exchange for helping him find his gorillas, he's giving me the amount of telepathic abilities to be able to project these Red Deaths all across the town. And this is such. I've made this complaint before about how much The Flash has become a Power Rangers show, but the shot of the civilians, the horrible extra acting civilians who are in the city, and these Red Death holograms appear in front of them, and seeing them have to pretend to be scared and run away, and it looks so forced and so terrible, and the effect of Red Death appearing looks bad. It's just a copy and paste of a bunch of Red Deaths. And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? How has this show gotten dumber and dumber and dumber and bad? You could say that, hey, it's CW and it's cheap. What do you expect? Rewatch season 1. Alright, rewatch season 2. Rewatch the first 2 seasons of Arrow and tell me that they weren't trying to be better, that they weren't trying to be more mature, that they weren't trying to push the envelope when it came to superhero properties, superhero TV shows, that they weren't impressing you with the effects and the costumes and the emotional depths of writing and character interactions. And I mean, fuck, I'll never forget me crying in the season 1 finale. This is bullshit, the level that we've gone to with this fucking show. My God. And so you're seeing all these fake Red Deaths. There's even one scene where this guy stole a TV and he's running around and Red Death just appears in front of him and, like, I guess lasers him or whatever the fuck and kills him. And I'm like, okay, I don't care. And then after Red Death gives this whole explanation to Barry about, I'm doing this and I got Grodd's help and you failed Grodd and now Grodd's on my side, ha 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 ha, she just lets him go. They went to a commercial with her having Flash kind of captured, or I mean, he wasn't tied up, but she had him. And then they go to a commercial, they come back from commercial, and then Barry's just back at home with the other ex-criminals. And I'm like, wait, what just happened? Did Red Death let Barry go? She let him live? She didn't just kill him right there on the spot? Now, I know this show is called The Flash. I know he's the main character. I know he's the superhero. I wasn't really expecting him to die, but why did she let him go? Why? Give me a logical, in-character, in-story reason why she would just be like, okay, you're free to go. Oh, because, well, she knew she already won, so she just let him go so that he can watch the suffering happen. Don't give me that bullshit, because it's 2023. God damn it, it's not 1995. It's not that type of superhero film. Come the fuck on. That was ridiculous. And even the way that the scene was shot of Barry being in that room and talking to Goldface and talking to Bumfuck McGee, I don't remember his name, the other ex-con characters, couldn't care less what their names are. But the way it was lit, with the blue lighting and the one light coming through the middle, I thought to myself, oh, well, because when Red Death was telling Barry about Gorilla Grodd, she somehow mentally took him, Barry, to the forest where Grodd was, and he could see the horrible CGI of Grodd there. And the lighting was all bright and weird. So the way how the lighting was in that one scene, I thought, oh, well, maybe still has Barry captured, and Barry's imagining this conversation. Maybe she's somehow in his head, and she's getting these other characters to turn on him, like mentally in his head, to break his confidence, to slowly break him. No, I was giving the show credit. I was giving them a decent idea of what they could be doing right now, but no, they were just back home, magically. Again, she let him go. He's just there. The lighting's weird on purpose, and there you go. So, wow. We're not even really trying to make sense of any of this. By the way, when Red Death was talking to Barry about... Because Barry has this one line of like, oh, well, they're just holograms. They're not real. They can't cause any real damage. And she says, well, remember that time when Savitar stabbed you and it was a projection and he somehow almost killed you? Well, that's the same thing. And they show this flashback of Savitar stabbing him, and I don't remember any of this. I really don't. I'm like, okay, sure, you showed a one quick flash of it, but they're referencing such random stuff, and I don't know how Red Death even would know this. I mean, did the same exact thing happen on her Earth? I guess. That was just random as all hell, like for all the things to reference and flash back to. But okay, fine. So, Keon kisses Mark. Mark is almost like in a coma. They have him in the bed thing, and she's trying to wake him up, and she just decides to kiss him. Why? I don't know. But when she kisses him, like frost breath comes out of her mouth, and he wakes up. So now they're teasing that Keon is going to get frost powers, I guess, and it's also able to wake people up. I don't know, or maybe her mouth was just that goddamn cold that he woke up. But I don't care about that. I don't care about Keon getting powers. And I don't care about her and Mark potentially becoming a couple. I don't fucking care. This is terrible. I can't believe this is the last season of the show. I really can't believe it. And I praised the actress that plays Ryan Wilder, that plays Batwoman, because I thought she had some good scenes last week with Iris when they were talking back and forth, and she got emotional. But she had some horrible scenes, horrible acting scenes. Again, I know it's more the writing and more the directing. It's really not her fault. She's clearly capable of more, but her whole being a part of this, like the actress, has done her no good. This has not made her look good. This has not done her favors. When she's talking to the police captain, she's like, I'm going to go make justice. And she's making these weird facial expressions. And I'm just like, oh, this is so cringe. This is garbage. Absolute garbage. So then what happens next? We have Barry shows up. Barry was able to get his speed powers back from Grodd. Somehow, some bullshit explanation of like, I threw lightning at him 3 years ago, and it was still stored in his mind. So I was able to get it back. Okay, fuck you. So Barry has his speed back, and he has, which we've done this at least 5 or 6 times, where Barry and another evil speedster speed around the city. It was cool the first maybe 2 times. Now it's like, okay, they're doing that thing again. That's where we are right now. And they're speeding around the city. Decent action moment where Red Death throws a batarang at Barry and Red Death does like a grapple swing kick into him. But once again, I was already checked out by that point. And then magically out of nowhere, the real Batwoman shows up. She just shows up. The real Ryan Wilder shows up and beats the shit out of Red Death. She hits her with a destabilizer. It takes away the speed that Red Death has, which is like, you can do that? You have that fucking ability? I guess you do. And the whole time I'm like, wait, so where was Ryan? Where was the real Batwoman? Where was she? After she beats Red Death, she says to Barry, Batwoman says to Barry, oh, I'm sorry I'm late to the party. That's all you have to say? They said that you went missing months ago. So where did you go? What happened to you? I assumed that maybe Red Death had her captured and was trying to just take her identity or take her place. They didn't even explain it. She just shows up. What the fuck? Fuck off with this dumb bullshit. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the ex-cons, are they the only characters in this fucking city? The same three ex-cons show up to help Barry, and it's just like, oh, this is so bad. Where is everybody else? Where's all the other villains? Where's all the other characters? Where's Cisco? Where's other people that actually care about Barry? How come nobody else is doing anything? Where's the other Harrison Wells? What are we doing here? And so, and then they have the one line. This was terrible. This was awful. Batwoman says to Barry, wow, this is my first time in Central City. Is it always this crazy here? Bitch, you're from Gotham City. You're telling me that Gotham City's not fucking buck wild every fucking night? You're telling me Gotham City is not worse than Central City? So that was a dumb question. And then not only that, what does the ex-criminal say to her? It must be Wednesday. And then they all start laughing. This is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. Maybe you can get away with a line like that if this was a goofier episode, if this was dealing with a villain like Condiment King, or somebody really lame like that, Rat Catcher, or the Sewer King, you know, like low-level villains to where we can kind of joke around. But this was a serious threat. This was almost world-ending. This was a 5-episode arc. And that's the lame-ass joke and line that we end this with. Holy shit. And Joe West, possibly my favorite character on the show, just because of how great the actor is, and just because of how much of a great moral compass he has always been for the Barry Allen character. He talks to Cecile and says, hey, yeah, so we don't have to leave Central City. We don't have to move away like I was talking about. How about I just take our daughter and I just bounce? And it's like, wait, what? Yeah, Cecile, you don't have to be a mother to your daughter. Like, you don't have, no, it's fine. We're not breaking up. I'm just going to take our daughter and leave. And you can come and see her on the weekends. Great. Because it's more important for Cecile to stay on the team, to stay on this fucking show. Because Cecile is that important to this fucking show for some reason. And yeah, and she just agrees to it. She's like, cool. Not, hey, I should go think about this. Hey, we should talk about this more. Hey, like, let me really take this under consideration. This is a big deal. This is me leaving my daughter 5 days out of the week. No, yeah, great idea, Joe. Oh my God. Oh my God. And so the last scene is a farewell to Joe scene. And granted, kudos to the Joe actor because he gave the speech that actually felt like somebody gives a shit about real character emotions and whatnot. So he was great. And when they cut to like Iris sitting there, it's like, this is Iris's fucking father. He didn't have one scene with Iris in this entire episode. I don't even remember if he had a scene with her this entire season, and he's leaving. Her father, and we already know that Wally West is returning for at least an episode later on, and he's not going to be here for that. This is really the time that you're going to write Joe off the show? Even if the actor wanted to leave and you only had so much time, maybe space out the number of episodes you have him for so that he's at least here for big moments, so that he at least gets one more scene with Iris, so that he gets one more scene with Wally. Save his leaving for the second to last episode, maybe. This is awful. This is bottom of the barrel writing. This is the worst of the worst of the worst. And Keon, now, once again, further emphasizing that she has powers, she's able to detect that Iris is pregnant. Great. Iris is now pregnant, so I guess we're going to see Nora West Allen get born, because that's what we all been waiting for. Fuck this show, guys. Fuck this show. I am torturing myself. If you're wondering, well, why are you still watching it? Why are you still putting yourself through this? It's because I'm reviewing it. And watching the show, the Arrowverse in general, for as long as I have been, 9+ years, I gotta see it through. I have to see how it ends and how much more terrible it goes. But I went into this, optimistic. If you don't believe me, look at my video before season 9 started where I said, hey, this is what they could do to improve it or to do something good. Don't tell me that I'm just being negative for the sake of being negative. This shit sucks. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of episode 5 of season 9? How much do you think it sucks as well? Is it just dog shit? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.
Oh yeah, today I feel Super Bowl. Feel it in your mind, and you lose control. Feel it in your breast, and you super soul. I don't say it.